Khalil Shakir rolled up his ankle today in practice. RJ Harvey is officially on Joker watch. Uh, Also, Bashal Tutin should be coming back and practicing soon, maybe even as early as next week. In other news, Keenan Allen seems like he's going to reunite with the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. Tonight, we're drafting some best ball teams. I'm going to get into some best ball mania drafts real soon coming up. We'll discuss all of these news topics and more tonight. So slap the like on your way in. Come say what up in the chat and let's draft some teams together. Without further ado, the intro. And I'm going to enter into a 20-second best ball mania. So if you're here, if you're early, go ahead and jump in. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. 500 subscribers for the channel. And I think we can do it. I think we can get there before the start of the NFL season. Waiting on 5 more for a best ball mania draft tonight. Let's get right into it. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. What's up, fellas? How we doing tonight? And we're off to the races. I'm in the 6th spot, a nice place to be if you're trying to draft the 101 for 2025 in fantasy football. You might be able to get them at the 106 these days. We'll see. I did a draft earlier today where I got CeeDee Lamb at the 106. Can we get Jahmyr Gibbs at the 106 spot? We got Ant Wall in this one in the 10. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're having a great Friday night. Let me know if you made it in here. If you're drafting with me, come say what up. Let's get after it. Let's draft some best ball teams. This is my best ball mania number 82. We're making our way through the 150. I'm trying to back weight it as much as I can, but I can't. Hey, what do I want to do? Enter a different tournament? We did a sprint last night. We tried to do a second sprint, couldn't fill it. So we're back in the best ball mania streets. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're having a great end to your work week and getting ready for a nice summer weekend. What do you guys got going on? I'm going to head to the pool tomorrow. I'm going to do a pool day. I got some chores, some errands to do in the morning, things around the house, stuff with the car, stuff with the front yard. Then I'm going to hit the pool if it's not raining tomorrow afternoon. What are you guys getting into? All right, here's the moment of truth. Can we get? No, didn't work out. I love CeeDee Lamb, though. Of course, we're going to go CeeDee Lamb here. But like I said, would have been nice to get Jahmyr Gibbs. I want to load my bags with some more Gibbs. I've been playing it through the receivers. I've been playing it closer to ADP. I want to start taking more Gibbs in the 3, 4, 5 spots. Let me pull up my best ball overlay combination tool, and based on the available players, we'll see if I can get any unique combos. I think so. I've got CD with, there goes H-Chan in the 8th spot. That you don't see that every day. I've got like CD with, I don't have him with Henry. That'd be pretty rare. Got him with London. Got him with AJ Brown, McConkey. I don't have him with Genty. I've got some Bowers, some JT, some Bucky, Jacobs, a little bit of Chase Brown, but he might be worth pulling up, actually. That could be fun. Some Tyreek, some T, some McBride. So I think I've gotten CeeDee Lamb with pretty much everyone. Maybe even this is the time to do it with a Josh Allen. Bring Josh Allen up in the 3rd round. Let me just see if anyone falls to me and I can get lucky and get a unique combo. How we doing tonight, fellas? Thanks for being here. Thanks for jumping on. Short notice. I just threw the stream together. Wasn't sure if I was going to go live, but I'm going to draft these teams, so I might as well go live and chill with y'all while we're at it. We got Nick Bach winning the flex. What's up, brother? How you doing? Happy Friday. Jeff T just saying hello so you can see his name on screen in 4 minutes. Perfect. Exactly. Dead on. Jeff T's locked in. My main man, Hartman. What's up, dog? How you doing, Hartman? We got Seth in here. May have to replace Judkins in the intro. I know. I said that like 2 weeks ago. I've been saying it this whole month. It's so much effort to update the clip, but I do need to do that. We'll find time. Wow. Okay, Achane going at the 8. Chase Brown going at the 17. I didn't even have a chance to pull Chase Brown up to the 19 in this one. Let me pull up my combo tool and see. I don't think I'm going to get a truly unique team. I'd have to pull someone up that's not really worth it. So it's going to be either McConkey or Bowers. And I think I do want to play it through. I want to grab some of these. I'm going to go JT. I want to play it through the running backs and maybe have a chance at getting another running back. I know I've taken CD with JT a decent amount. Like if I look at my combos with CD and then running backs, %20 of my CD Lamb teams have Jonathan Taylor, but I think it's a really strong combo. So I want to be a little bit balanced. This gives me the chance, if a running back falls to me at pick 30, I'll take advantage of it. I mean, Brock Bowers going at 22 here is pretty wild, but I guess I helped him fall there. Josh Jacobs could come back around. It's rare, but it can happen. McBride, Josh Allen. Hampton going at pick 24. This is something I've been noticing. Hampton goes at now the 2-3 turn. Not too surprised there. Only 8% Gibbs. I know. What happened? I've been taking all this Jefferson and CD. I've got a ton of Jefferson and a ton of CD. So I'm just going to start playing at Gibbs a little bit more. And I guess I'm going to continue to fade Bijan and Saquon, which seems crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do yet fully. Did you do the Husky? I've done 3 Huskies. I don't know if it's filled yet. It's probably pretty close. I thought about doing a 4th one, but I decided to keep my best ball manias up to pace. Yo, what's up, Philly Mike? How you doing this Friday night? Going golfing and fishing tomorrow. That sounds sick. That's a great way to spend this Saturday. I love it. Bass fishing, fly fishing. What are you getting into? Go Josh Allen here. Josh Allen, JT, CeeDee Lamb start. Balanced, strong, elite QB. If Josh Jacobs would have been there, or like Hampton or Bucky, probably would have grabbed one of those 2 guys. Yo, what up, big dog? Antwall in the 10th spot. He goes Neighbors. Derrick Henry, speaking of big dogs, and JSN. It's a fun start. Oh, there you go. Yeah, upstate New York. Very nice. Philly Mike, I spent some time. Sometimes in the summer, we go visit family in Vermont, which is real near upstate in terms of like how it is during the summer. Beautiful, a lot of rivers, lakes, ponds, mountain hiking, that kind of good stuff out in the sun. So I'm jealous. That sounds perfect right now. Yes, sir. Jeff T. My highest exposure in the top 6, it would go CeeDee Lamb, then Justin Jefferson, and then probably split between probably Gibbs and then Chase, and then I'm lowest on Bijan, and I've got a pretty low amount of Saquon too. Pretty low on those guys. Okay, so for me here, it's probably Worthy. If he wasn't there, I would have gone Pickens or JMO. Let me grab Worthy in this one, though. Hope that I can get a running back that I like to come back around. But I think Worthy, wide receiver 2 on this team, is we're in a good spot. Where did Rice go? So Rice is still available. I moved Rice down in my ranks recently. I was reading a Leg Up article and just kind of laying out his upside, his downside, and it just comes down to his suspension risk. So I've moved Rice around pick kind of like the 4-5 turn, where I was still taking him like the 3-4 turn. I think him missing time is kind of priced into his current ADP, but only if he still produces like his ceiling outcome. So coming back from the injury, if he has, I don't know. There's just a lot of risk, but I still really like the Rashee Rice pick. He's, a yards after catch machine. So I've got a good amount of exposure to Rashee Rice. I'll still take him, but I've priced him up. On my teams where I've got him, he's already priced up so expensive. I'm going to see if I can mix him in on the cheaper side and on some of my new teams if I'm taking him. So like pick 49 plus. Pretty much where I'm at with that. Ooh, can I get lucky here? All right, there's a small chance. Let's see. Hurts going at 51. That's a great steal. So getting Brock Bowers at 22, followed by Josh Jacobs 27, and then leading Smith to get Hurts to come back around. The guy in the 3 spot has a very nice team he's cooking up. He's a little bit behind at receiver because he went elite QB and elite tight end, but maybe he can dig himself out of that receiver hole. Wow. Ken Walker is there. Harvey goes a bit early. I'm going to grab Ken Walker at pick 54. Perfect. Just what I needed on this squad. Another strong running back in a run-heavy offensive scheme. That feels pretty good. That's a nice start. And going camping tomorrow night in Lake Placid, New York. That sounds great. That's a really nice weekend plan. I like that. I have not been out there, but like I said, I've been out to Vermont so I've been around. We fly into Burlington and then out from there to the mountains. Yeah, I've never seen that movie. I think it's like a horror movie. I'm pretty sure, Lake Placid. I feel like I've seen that at a Blockbuster back in the day, but didn't ever see it. Need a Willie Knows Ball rap on the intro. Maybe we can work that out. We are in the PPR. Tyler started up a new Dynasty League with some of the bros, and our draft is going to be next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. And Willie Knows Ball is in our league. There's 14 of us, with Bindles and I co-managing a team, and then BBG is also co-managing a team. So 14, 12 guys, 12 teams, I think is what we ended up at. And yeah, maybe we'll have to reach out to Willie and get him to update the intro a little bit. A-Chain Chase Brown combo too. Yeah. Some teams that got Chase Brown in the 3rd. It's possible. I remember I was getting Chase Brown in the 3rd for a while there, right? So we've all kind of done something similar. But it's been a while. A lot of things change just because people must have been getting things wrong, at that point in the season too. So it's tough to know. Josh Allen. Is Shakir still there? Maybe I can bring up Shakir. Maybe I'll try to push him. I do kind of want Shakir on this team. I guess he's not worth bringing up. Debo could be nice. Addison, Golden Reed, Montgomery Myers. I'll take a Debo for my wide receiver 3. I think he could fit the scheme really nicely in Washington. A lot of horizontal passes, slants, screens, getting Debo the ball, getting Jaden Daniels some easy completions, and a healthy Debo Samuel in a Commander's offense could be really, really nice. So I'm happy to take Debo in the middle of the 6th round. When we saw what Jaden Daniels could do to support Terry McLaurin having a career year in touchdowns, 13 touchdowns in the regular season, plus 3 more in the playoffs. If Debo can get a piece of that touchdown share, be really nice. And I think he can. I feel like he easily could. What do you guys think? Are you guys back on Debo? I'm also in the camp that I'm saying there's no way Terry McLaurin gets traded. He'll get a deal done. He's playing hardball. And I'm pretty sure Keenan Allen's going to go to the Chargers, is what I decided based on that visit. He hadn't visited any other teams. Just makes too much sense. So not great for Trey Harris, but overall, there goes Shakir at 75. Pick 78 coming up. It's between Laporta. I think I'll go Laporta here. I love Golden. I'm going to get a really strong tight end on this squad. I drafted a ton of Golden, and I love Golden. I want to be a little bit balanced on this one. I've got an elite QB in Josh Allen. So through my first 7 picks, I've got a 1-2-3-1 build. Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Ken Walker, CeeDee Lamb, Xavier Worthy, Deebo Samuel, and then Sam Laporta for tight end. So my next pick, I'm just looking to continue to fill out my flex spot. I need either a receiver or a running back. So best available at pick 91, receiver or running back is how I'm going to play it. And then probably continue to hammer some kind of whoever falls to me between receivers and running backs for the rest of the draft, taking advantage of the QB pocket if I can, getting some stacks where it makes sense. I don't think I should take Mahomes at 85, considering I took Josh Allen. So that's the only thing is there. I'm not looking to stack Mahomes with Xavier Worthy at pick 91, but whatever crazy reason, and it's not going to happen. But if Mahomes is there at 102, I think I would do it then. I definitely would do it then. It's just not going to happen. There's a chance Mahomes goes before my next pick anyways. He typically does. Aaron Jones goes. 2 more picks until I'm up again. But could this be the year? Could this be the year? I took Sam Laporta in the 7th round. Seems like a good value. And then I'm going to go... I'm taking Jordan Mason to fill up my flex spot instead of getting Mahomes there since I already had Allen for whatever reason. And I had a Devontae Adams there or whoever stack. I've got good stacking, what's coming up after this, after my first 9 picks. So we'll just see what happens. Going land fishing in the AM. There we go. Catch some trout and eat them. Love it. That sounds nice. Let's see what he did. From the 5 spot. You know what I'm looking for here. Oh, we got him. Patrick Mahomes comes back around. So I fill out the flex. I push Mahomes, and I still get him in this Best Ball Mania draft. You love to see it when a plan comes together. Mahomes and Josh Allen. Now we got to land the plane. I've got my quarterbacks I need. I'm guessing this is no longer a Dak Prescott team. It was going to be Dak Prescott there at the 102, but I'll take a falling Patrick Mahomes to go with my Xavier Worthy and forego the Dak CeeDee Lamb combo, which I've done plenty of times. This team's going to get a little bit different from here on out. No Keon Coleman, no Khalil Shakir. Maybe I can get a Josh Palmer later. Ray Davis. Kincaid is a thought. Pick 115 and then 126 coming up. Yeah, 1 hour away from Vermont. Very nice part of the country. Love it out there. We go out to Warren, Vermont, which is a nice little mountain town, ski town, fun area to go during the summer. Enjoy the hiking, the rivers, small town feel. Yeah, 3 spots a good place to be. Yo, what up, RM Covers? Been in on Gibbs? Yeah, for sure. Bindles, what's up, brother? GM, how you doing this Friday night, my friend? Keon having better camp. Shakir is hurt. Yeah, we did hear about Shakir getting hurt. Keon's having an up and down camp. I've heard the news on Keon, kind of up and down, back and forth. Yeah, been overloading it with Golden. So that's how we've been doing it though. Billy, what's up, Billy? GM. I'll be back on the clock here. I mean, Dak is still there, but there's no way I can take him, right? I need a receiver. I kind of feel like Bateman's decent. My ranks would be Bateman or Kirk. I think I'll go Bateman. For whatever reason, if Dak is still there with my next pick, it's like, how do you pass him up? Because I filled out my starting positions. I filled out my flex. I don't think I could, in good faith, pass up Dak Prescott. Otherwise, I'm looking at like Kincaid should be going. I like Njoku. Kincaid goes around pick 136. I'd have to think about that. Yeah, Dak goes. So, which I mean, I'm kind of glad. I do like David Njoku here. I'd rather have David Njoku than Kincaid on most teams. I think he's pretty strong pick. Running back, I could do. I mean, obviously, I've got a lot of Tootin. I'm going to see if I can push Tootin a little bit. If he'll continue to fall. Feel pretty good about my 3. I'd like a 4, but there's no one there I'm obsessed with. And then, man, it's a tough spot for receivers too. So pick 126. I'm looking at the tight end and thinking Njoku's my best bet here. I don't want any Ramondre. Let me see if I can get Njoku with this pick and then still build out something that makes sense. Because I just want the best available players on this team. I think I can definitely get elite scoring between Laporta and Njoku. Famously, Njoku and Laporta really strong down the stretch last year. Wow, what's going on? Josh Palmer goes pick 128. I would have looked to take him closer to pick 150. So that's just insanity. Looks like we're going unstacked. Josh Allen, almost certainly. Trey Harris still going pick 111, goes to Antwall. I think that's a decent price. Maybe even with Keenan Allen, maybe he should still be in this round. But I think people will overreact when Keenan Allen does sign. So kind of factoring that in just a little bit. Some of the big risers and fallers in the last day. Let's go to the ADP rankings. Is the free dashboard from bestballoverlay.com. So Chubb, Marks, Bigsby, the risers, JCM, aka Bill, got Demario Douglas rising as well. Fallers, Judkins, Mixon, Marshawn Lloyd, Likely, and Waller. So Bigsby. I don't need Kincaid. He does get drafted there. Jaden Blue goes, which is always a great pick. I would have taken Jaden Blue, or at least considered him. So people are catching on to Jaden Blue. Been telling y'all all summer long, draft Jaden Blue. People are just catching on. I like the Tank Bigsby pick here. I need a running back anyways. Kyle Williams, slight faller. How many snaps is he going to play? How much is he going to actually play? Don't need a QB, of course. Don't need a tight end either. Just checking on my... It's going to be Tank Bigsby. Let's go. A 2-4-4-2 build through my first 12 picks. A K9, Jordan Mason, Tank Bigsby. And then my receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Xavier Worthy stacked up. Deebo Samuel for my little mini Week 17 bring back at home against the Cowboys. Rashad Bateman is my wide receiver 4, so I'm a little bit weaker in my wide receivers. I'll get some depth there later, but pretty strong up top. And then Laporta and Njoku, very strong at tight end. Feeling good. I'm going to continue to rip whatever flex players are available. Who falls to me at pick 150 and then 163, whether it's a receiver or a running back, we'll take advantage of it. Probably need to go receivers though before it's too late, but we're kind of in this dead zone, right? It's kind of not a lot of receivers going here. Only 2 went in round 12. Yo, what up, Anthony? GN. Yeah, I think we'll throw some music on. We'll get some music on maybe after this next pick. Hope you're having a great week, my man. It's Friday. I'm getting ready for a nice weekend. Whether you're camping, fishing, going out to the lake, going out to the pool. Ooh, Demario Douglas. I mean, we just saw on the bestballoverlay.com free dashboard page that Douglas is a riser, and he goes really early in this one. Penix falling a bit. I like Algier here. I like Dobbs. I think I'll throw in Dobbs. I'm pretty bullish on the Packers. So let me get one more guy who I think can play a good amount on a good team. Romeo Dobbs. That feels like a good selection. Nice. I like this team a lot. Josh Allen Mahomes team seems very strong. So let me just keep making sure my wide receivers are covered. ADP-wise, it's going to be... There's not a lot of receivers that I like in this range. So either I reach and pull some guys up, or I'm going to continue to take a running back that I like. I think there's really like 3 running backs that I like in this range that I could take. One of them goes, it's Braylon Allen. I haven't been drafting a ton of Braylon Allen this summer, but with the recent news of him being kind of more of the 1B, I've moved Breece Hall down a little bit in my ranks, and I've moved Braylon Allen up a little bit. At the same time, the Jets have an improved offensive line, all new coaching, right? So new quarterback situation. There's a lot of things that have changed for the Jets. But price tag 156 for Braylon Allen seems good now. He was going around pick 170 for a while there. He's going to continue to rise up. Nick Chubb goes pick 158. He's been one of the risers over the last couple of days, the last week. Certainly. StreamYard's kind of lagging. Yeah, bad internet right now, it seems. Jerome Ford goes. That's a guy I would have liked to gotten there. I could do Eckler. I think I will. I've already gotten Debo, just one more piece of the Commanders offense. So I think that's what I'll do, and I can just keep playing it through players that I have ranked highly. Getting into round 16, only a few picks left to go. Could be a 2-7-7-2 build or a 2-6-8-2 even. I don't think there's like any obvious other stacking partners for me to get. So I don't think there's any reason for me to go with a third QB. I really can't imagine who that would be unless it's Cam Ward, Bryce Young, or Anthony Richardson at a super cheap price tag. Oh, I appreciate you, Anthony. Good looking out. Yeah, so I think I've got there's just a lot of devices on my Wi-Fi. I'm plugged into my Ethernet cable to one of my routers, but sometimes it does lag. Pick 174 coming up. Bryce Young all the way there at 171. That's a nice price on him. Cam Ward is still there. Pretty nice price on him too. I would like to get Alec Pierce here. Otherwise, It's an Alec Pierce for me. I draft a ton of them, but he's got a certain role on a team. It's looking more and more like Anthony Richardson is going to be QB1 there. Cam Ward at pick 175, an incredible value. On any other build where I didn't have Mahomes and Josh Allen, I think I would just take Cam Ward there. I probably still could have done it, but I think what it comes down to is just like I need to probably just bank on Josh Allen and Mahomes since I have so much draft capital at QB. I don't even know if it makes sense to get that third. I want to continue to build out players that can hit my flex since I did take a little pause at receiver, starting with CeeDee Lamb and then Xavier in the 4th, Debo in the 6th, Rashad Bateman in the 10th. So only 4 receivers through 10 rounds and 5 through 13. Got my 6th receiver in the 15th round. 3 picks left to go. Now, if Anthony Richardson was there at pick 187, I think I would have done it to go with Alec Pierce. And because he is a guy that can actually score more points than either of Mahomes or Josh Allen on any given week. I know, right? Yeah, the desktop location error sometimes. Hard to explain. So I got 3 picks left. I'm going to try to fill out my flex. I don't think there's any Bills that I'm crazy about that are remaining. So I'm kind of done there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do with any of the remaining Bills. Chiefs, maybe Kareem Hunt super late or Jalen Royals. I'm going to keep just drafting players that I like. Either it's Taj Brooks. I don't want to get in on this team since I do have Jonathan Taylor. So it probably makes sense not to get ins. Receiver wise, I like Noel. I like Keenan Allen. Tight ends, I don't need any of these guys. Keenan Allen's going to be a Charger. He's not going to retire. I think we're good. I'm going to keep hammering him for the next week until we find out for sure that he's not going to retire, because he'll shoot up the board. I think him just visiting with the Chargers gives me enough faith to go back to drafting him. So week 12 bye on the Chargers, covered there. Only have Debo. The week 10 bye is not a big issue. All my other players are not on the week 10 bye, and there's not really like any Eagles that I want. I don't know if there's any Broncos I'm going to want. So I haven't really built out many of my week 17 matchups. I'm just taking players that I like. Just a strong team overall. I've got some nice minis. I've got like Detroit, Minnesota. I've got the Jaguars at Indy. I've got the Commanders at home against the Cowboys built out. I've got the week 16 Cleveland against the Bills. I've got a mini with Bateman and Dobbs. Alec Pierce again, another Colts player. If we assume that Keenan Allen's a Charger, he's going to play the Cowboys in week 16. That's nice. So I've got a lot of Cowboys opponents. JCM doesn't make sense. I've got Eckler. I could do Woody Marks, who I don't take a lot of. I like Jarquez Hunter even more so. Jalen Royals makes sense here. I think I'll go ahead and take Jalen Royals. And then my last pick, I can kind of use it as a little bit of a luxury pick. No quarterback. Tight end, maybe Elijah Arroyo or Terrence Ferguson could be kind of interesting. I don't think they add a whole lot to this team, though. I kind of would rather go running back and go for like a home run. Definitely good now with the wide receivers. Running back wise, I would even go like Hunt, probably over Marks. on this team with the Chiefs that I've taken. I could do Corum. Devin Neal's gotten some good news lately. They're saying he's looking pretty good in practice. Ollie Gordon up and down. Keaton Mitchell is a fun piece. Could go with him. Trevor Etienne's kind of interesting. It's enough names, though. I think we're covered. We'll get one of these running backs. I think I'm going to pass on the third tight end. Stick with 2. Since I have Laporta, who I think is borderline elite, and David Njoku, who per game, very strong. Torrey Horton, yeah. I haven't been clicking Horton since the big board. I think in 18 rounds it's hard for me to get there. I'm not super in on the Seahawks, and I don't really believe in Sam Darnold either. Yeah, Hunt goes. Hunt could have been nice on this team. Same thing with Jarquez Hunter, my most drafted player. Go figure. Corum, it could be a Corum team. Who helps the team more? It's going to be another running back. Corum, Neal, Mitchell. I'll take Corum. I don't draft him a lot, so it's good just to change it up. Just believe in the Rams' ability to put players in good positions to score fantasy points. And he's my running back 6, so I'm not really requiring much of him. JT, Mason, and Eckler to cover my week 8. And then I've got 3 of my running backs on the week 8 bye, but it's not like that big of an issue. No, I didn't stack Josh Allen at all. It just didn't work out. Shakir wasn't there when I wanted him. Didn't have a chance to get Coleman to come back around. Keon Coleman's been rising a little bit. And then, man, Josh Palmer went like 20 picks ahead of ADP or more. So I got some nice correlation, some nice team stacks, and some great ADP value. So I'm pretty psyched about this team. Let's review it and get into another draft. Go here. My completed drafts. We can check this one out. Best Ball Mania number 83. Let's go. Usually don't do a 3663 build, but it's not bad. Yeah, we'll check out Antwall's team too. Let me go to the Best Ball overlay portfolio analyzer. I think I can filter it to just my Best Ball Mania teams right here. And yeah, that looks right. And then I can show you my team builds. So let me do. Okay, I think you can see it. My most common team build is a 2682. I've done 10 of those. Then a 3672. I've got 9 of those. 3573, 7. 2673, 7 of those. 2583, got 7 of those. If I scroll down to 3663, I've only done it twice, so I probably could stand to do it a few more times for sure. I've got 13492. One of them showing up here is probably just a little glitch. I don't know what's up with that one, but yeah, 3663, I feel like I've done it a few more times, but it's probably across all of my other tournaments. If I filter it to all my tournaments. So this is a premium feature of the Best Ball overlay. It's called the Portfolio Analyzer, Portfolio Snapshot. And I can use it to check my exposures, my playoff stacks, my position by round that I draft, my tournament fee allocation, draft capital. It's pretty handy. I like it. I think it's cool. It's a nice little perk to go along with my Best Ball overlay. If you're interested, check it out, bestballoverlay.com. Use code GARAGE to get 25% off your premium subscription. Shoot me a DM. Ask me if you have any questions about it, about the features, how you can use it, what I use it for, or if you're curious. Happy to answer anything. And I'm a big fan of using it too, so I don't mind promoting it either. Across all tournaments, 3, 5, 7, 3 is my most popular. It's showing 11 of the 11, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's maxing out. Maybe I need to refresh for it to like show correctly, because I definitely have more than 11. All tournaments, roster builds. Not sure why it's showing 11. It's showing 20% though, which 20% of my teams is a lot higher than 11. But 3663 is showing up. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe I filtered it wrong or something. Probably need to re-upload my CSV, but going back to the risers and fallers, we saw, so Joe Mixon's been falling. I want to check to see where he went in this draft. Marshawn Lloyd's been falling a lot too. That's interesting, because what I'm hearing is not like it's that bad of an injury news, but I think people are just sick of hearing him in the context of being injured. Judkins, we want to go see where he landed in this one, likely. And then we clocked. Chubb went way ahead of ADP. I don't know where Woody Marks went. I got Bigsby in a good spot. JCM, I think, went close to undrafted. And then Demario Douglas also went well ahead of ADP. So let's go investigate what's going on here. And we'll also look at my team, do a quick review, and look over at Ant Walls here. Appreciate you guys chilling with me tonight. We're about to review these teams, look at some of these players' ADPs, what happened, review this draft, and then get back into another Best Ball Mania. So if you want to draft a Best Ball Mania team with me, get queued up, get ready, lock in, make sure you've liked the stream, make sure you're subscribed, come say what up in the chat, and let's get into it. Anthony says he hasn't done it this year, but the way the board feels, it could be okay. So like, I like a 3-6-6-3 anytime I start with 4 or 5 receivers. If you're just going down the board taking receivers, that feels like a really strong way to play it, to go like a 3-6-6-3. You're going to miss out on the elite QBs, so you want to get some volume at QB. You're going to miss out on the elite tight ends. You're going to want to get some volume there. And then likewise, 6 running backs covers a lot of bases. Not believe in Darnold. Yeah, it's a situational thing. Hartman and JT and I, we did a stream last week on Hartman's channel. And Hartman, I think I was the most in on Darnold. JT's been a big Milrow guy the whole time. But Hartman was able to show me some stats. Pretty much, what's up with Darnold? He's a product of the Vikings offense. Darnold, terrible throughout his career, and only ever had one good season with the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell, quarterback whisperer. Kevin O'Connell was able to get a good season out of Joshua Dobbs, who is a second, third string quarterback, journeyman, but got him to produce some fantasy numbers, was relevant for a few weeks. We're going to see JJ McCarthy likely succeed with the Vikings coaching and team they built for him, around him, and that he's going to be accessing all those weapons. Darnold going to the Seahawks with one of the worst offensive lines. The Vikings had a good offensive line. The Seahawks have brand new coaching, offensive coordinator and head coaching. So that's all new, all change for everyone on the team. New things to learn, new stuff going on. That's kind of gonna. There's not a whole lot of consistency there versus the Vikings, very consistent coaching and what they've been doing there. And then the weapons are just like a lot different. Going from the Vikings team and offensive line to the Seahawks is bad. And then the Seahawks are going to be very run heavy and very defensive team. So all that. And then, like I said, 2 people that comped to Sam Darnold that Hartman pulled together using some of the like advanced quarterback metrics and looking at like historical fantasy seasons. Hartman was comping Sam Darnold to Nick Foles. Nick Foles had a even before he was a Super Bowl MVP and came in for the injured Carson Wentz, Nick Foles had a season with like 28 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. A great season for him. I think he had like 4,300 passing yards and is a really good quarterback that year. Never repeated. Never was good again. Also, you have a guy like, he comped him to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who had essentially one good fantasy year that wasn't even that impressive, and then a bunch of just subpar years. So I think what we're kind of thinking on Sam Darnold is he just can't repeat. He's kind of a one-hit wonder. And yeah, he's a former 101, but I think he was kind of a product of good coaching and good situation last year. So I'm not really excited about a lot of the Seattle pieces. I'm doing a slight fade on all of them except for the running backs. So like you saw me take Ken Walker there, but I think they're going to run the ball a lot, and I think Ken Walker can be good when healthy. Yeah, he goes late, which is, you can make a good argument that just like any quarterback that late is a value. So that's where I come back in. But I just don't like taking him as a pure pocket passer if I don't have JSN, I don't have Cooper Kupp. You could backstack him with Arroyo or MVS, sure. Maybe you have Charbonnet already. So like the times I have taken them, it's usually because I can stack them. Like I'm better on DK. I think that totally makes sense too. But I think the argument for Sam Darnold is like you're saying, is he's so cheap. He just, like any quarterback in that range who is the guaranteed starter might be worth taking. I'm kind of worried though that they don't bench Sam Darnold. We've seen teams bench guys before that are in bad spots, try to give the backup quarterback some run. So Sam Darnold even going to be playing in week 17 is kind of a crazy thought. And he gets a bonus for the passing. That's helpful too. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm coming back around too with Darnold. It's like the bench risk versus Stafford it's a little bit more expensive, but like relatively, it's still a dollar auction bid anywhere past pick 150, right? So like, I think of Geno and Stafford being better bets than Darnold just because they're not going to get benched, even though they're both older. I think they're both just way better. And then I really like Anthony Richardson right now. So I'm trying to get as much Anthony Richardson as I can all the way around pick 165. I think if you need a quarterback in that range, like I'd rather have Anthony Richardson. He can put up huge weeks. And it sounds like AR might be the starter. They're kind of souring on Daniel Jones. This is probably true, but it could be good for fantasy. Nick Mullins. Yeah, Nick Mullins also got the KOC effect. Have 20% Darnold attached to Kubiak, coached him back to life, basically. Baker, yeah. Could be. Been on AR. I was like back and forth. I was taking AR to begin, then I moved over to Dimes, and I've been back in on AR for like the last maybe just week or two, but I was kind of avoiding both of them for a while. Yeah. These are good points. There's a lot of good debate or like conversation around who is a good late round value at QB. Let's see. Okay, let's go review these teams. And then, we were going to look at the ADP of some of these players too. I think makes a lot of sense. It could be fun to do, to track where the ADPs are going. So like, let's keep tabs, right? The first player we want to know where he went was Rice. Rice went 45. I think that's close to where he should be going now. I want to get him closer to the 5th round myself because I've already got so much Rice at a more expensive price. The other player we wanted to track, so Hampton went pick 24, pretty insane. Who else we got? We can see where Mixon ended up going. Mixon went. I thought he went pretty early. Pick 82, not super early actually. That's probably right. So Antwall gets Mixon at 82. I think that's a pretty good price actually. All things considered, where we are in this part of the summer, we don't know the extent of his injury and his timetable, but I think he could be still a good pick in this range. The spike weeks and his ability to score touchdowns, regardless of a bad Texans offensive line, still a good pick for fantasy. Still one of the top running backs, elite running backs, in fact. So he goes 82. That's a good spot for him. Who else are we tracking? We're tracking. Well, I took Bigsby. We can see where Judkins went. So Judkins should be going around 115 in this draft. Judkins goes 123. So he's going to continue to fall. He's still falling. That's a weird situation. Palmer, like I said, Palmer went 20 picks ahead of ADP. I kind of missed out there. I wish I would have been able to get Palmer instead of Romeo Dobbs. I get Tank Bigsby at pick 139. So a little bit of artificial pump up there, but he's been going at 148, 149. I still like him ahead of that price. It's a pretty flat range in there for running backs. Douglas been going at 160. In this draft, Douglas went 148, so he's been rising fast. He's going to be the starting, it sounds like, slot receiver for them, I think is what they're saying, right? Chubb, 163. Here he goes really early. Chubb, no, it's actually pretty, I think it's fine. It's right in line with it, but I'm not really a buyer of Chubb. So 158, I'm happy someone else takes him there. I'd prefer Austin Eckler. What about Najee, 154? So Antwall scooping up value on Najee and Joe Mixon. It's a fun way to play it, especially if you already had low exposure to Najee and or Mixon. Now you're getting them at their best prices. It's just the information we know is pretty concerning on both of them. But playing for upside, those could both be great picks. Who else did Braylon Allen 156 is a riser. Tootin 133. He's not really falling very much. Blue 137. He's back up rising again. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Blue going in the 120 range again. 128. Blue should be going ahead of Javonte Williams, ahead of Ramondre Stevenson, closer to Ray Davis, Tajay Spears range is where I think he should go. Samson 146. He's kind of stopped rising. Besh at 167. He should maybe fall a little bit more than that. Somehow Bryce Young and Cam Ward fell in this one. I think that's just kind of an anomaly. Richardson 176. I think he's going to continue to rise. It's going to be hard to get Richardson at 176 if there's any more good news. He'll be easily going 140s. Especially if they say Richardson's the starter. Whew. JCM, a.k.a. Bill, goes pick 210 right before me. Mark's 203, so not a ton of rise on those guys. Did Tesla get drafted in this one or KLS? Looks like they didn't. I don't see him at least. So the hype train has not fully left the station. Still somewhat reasonable. A lot of tight ends that have Arroyo. He's kind of back around pick 200. He'd risen up a little bit. Same thing with Terrence Ferguson, goes undrafted here. Mason Taylor's been getting some good hype. He could continue to rise. So he was going in the 170s. He could get back to there, I think. Pitt's 149. I think we covered it. Let's look at my team and Antwall's team, and then we'll get into another Best Ball Mania draft. Yo, what up? Binking. How we doing? Hope you're having a great Friday night. Thanks for stopping by. What are you drafting this weekend? What are you getting into? Flacco's going to start? Yeah, I think so too. David. I think it's kind of smart. Man, the Browns were the pass heaviest team in the NFL last season, right? So good coaching, Stefanski. Flacco gets the nod. The question is just like, does he hold down the job the whole year? And then how good can that team be? How much are they scoring? But even bad teams can be good for fantasy in certain ways. So, like, I don't hate that take either. I think there are quarterbacks. Russell Wilson could be one. Joe Flacco could be one. It doesn't sound great, but they could just be nice pieces. They could maybe not pay off at the end of the season, but they can pay off early in the season. Definitely. I've been thinking about that. Like Russell Wilson with Malik Neighbors might be kind of a decent spot. He might be worth a last round click if they really are going to sit in more of a red shirt for Dart. It's tough though. More of a super flex pick. Yeah, that was one cool thing about the super flex tournaments coming out is it kind of illuminated a lot of different discrepancies with ADP and which quarterbacks get drafted and in what order and who should get drafted versus not. So that was some interesting things that like I noticed. I didn't do a whole lot of super flex drafts, but I watched other people do them and I listened to the strategy, and that was kind of illuminating like, hey, Flacco does get drafted in a certain range in a certain way. So does Russell Wilson, other backups. It's kind of crazy. Yo, what's up, Disbanded? Happy Friday, my man. Thanks for stopping in. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. What you getting into this weekend? Out on Russ, rather take Jameis. That's hilarious. Best ball getting ready for the DFS, already building teams. Love to hear that. Very exciting time. Yeah, the DFS builders are getting ready. Everyone's ramping up. The redraft bros are going hard right now. It's last call for dynasty startups, and it's hot best ball summer, peak form in August. Here we go. We had the Hall of Fame game last night, and we've got all this practice and training camp buzz going on. It's a great time to be drafting fantasy football teams. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, I hope you guys are beating the heat this weekend too. Getting out there. It was early on. Philly Mike was telling us he's going fishing this weekend. He's going out to the lake, I think. He's going to be spending some time outside camping a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get a pool day in tomorrow. That could be nice. I had a beach day last week. Maybe do a pool day this weekend if it doesn't rain. But yeah, definitely drafting some teams. Dart, I think Dart was interesting. The more we've learned that like he's not going to be starting very soon, though, makes it tough. But he could hit when it matters in the second half of the season. Yo, Dark Side, what up? His garbage will redshirt this year, maybe. People have been saying Dart has got something to him, but I don't know. I haven't been following the Dart saga that much since the NFL draft. Yeah, could be. That's maybe a good comp. We will see. All right, so this best ball team we just finished, it's a 2-6-8-2 for me. I got Josh Allen, pick 30. Patrick Mahomes, pick 105. I'm going to scroll down because I couldn't see it there. Pick 102. So I get Patrick Mahomes almost 20 picks past ADP on a team where I have Xavier Worthy. Feels nice. Jonathan Taylor, Ken Walker, and Jordan Mason. That's kind of my core running back group. I like those three. Bigsby, Eckler, and Corum for my bench, kind of my backups, trying to get some league winners. No rookie running backs on this squad. I don't think I drafted any rookies on this entire team, actually. CeeDee Lamb, Xavier Worthy, Deebo Samuel, and Rashad Bateman. Throw in Romeo Doubs is the start. I've got Alec Pierce, Keenan Allen. Oh, no, I have Jalen Royals at least. So I do have a rookie wide receiver. Maybe Royals can carve out a role for himself while Rice is suspended. And then maybe he's a fine, throw-in piece. It's, I don't need a lot from him. I do need Keenan Allen to sign with the Chargers. That would really help this squad, this receiver room. So I need that to happen, not retirement. and then Laporta and Njoku. Very nice tight end room, in my opinion. Do a quick review of Antwall's team, and then let's get back into another Best Ball Mania draft. If you want to draft with me, get ready, cue it up, and we're about to get into it. A 3-6-6-3. I appreciate that, Nick. Yeah, I feel good about it. I don't do a lot of Josh Allen teams. Like I said last night, I'm trying to get more of them. So let's squeeze them in, and then we pushed Mahomes an entire round, which was cool. Learn ball, bro. Get in there and watch some film, not just highlights. You can't be watching the highlights. Got to be watching the film. Learn some ball. It's funny. 3-6-6-3 for Antwall. Herbert, McCarthy, Sam Darnold. I like the Herbert pick. I like the McCarthy pick. Very strong. Darnold, we just talked about forever. The big dog, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Mixon. So 3 elite running backs, workhorse running backs. Let's just envision all upside for this team. This is a really good top 3. Najee at a huge discount, a big value, like 20 picks past ADP. He continues to fall. Throw in Miles Sanders. Why not? Some correlation there. Jarquez Hunter is a good pick. I would have taken him if you didn't. Neighbors, JSN stacked up. DJ Moore, Hunter. So I like your first 4 receivers. Guys who can get a lot of targets and some exciting playmakers. Shaheed and then Trey Harris. So stopping with those 6. And no big bye week issues either. So I think that makes sense. And it feels like just enough. If Keenan Allen does sign with the Chargers, maybe Trey Harris's role is a little bit smaller than we're anticipating. That's the only thing, but you could really just hit with these top 4 and then Shaheed and be good. Hawkinson, likely, and Arroyo. So there's 2 more stacks. This is a fun team. I like it. The running backs are very strong. Seems good enough everywhere else. All right, let's get into one more Best Ball Mania draft. 22nd. I'm going to enter it into the chat when I'm entering now, and then you'll know if you see that. You can hit enter as well. I'm pretty much entering it right now, so if you're hearing this, that's the cue. Waiting on 8. Dart was the favorite QB in the entire draft in some things. It was an interesting quarterback class, right? I think Cam Ward is a very good pick where he's going ADP. He went pick 170 in the last draft. I just didn't need the 3rd quarterback on that team. Otherwise, I would have scooped him up and tried to backstack him. I think he's a good value where he's going at ADP anyways, like pick 156, 160, whatever he goes. In the 8th spot on this one. All right, we can work with that. I was kind of hoping to get in the top 4 or 5 so I could grab Gibbs, but wasn't meant to be on this one. Almost 0% chance Gibbs falls to the 108. Have to get really lucky. So we're drafting another 22nd Best Ball Mania. Let's get back into it. If you're in this draft with me and I don't recognize you, let me know what spot you're at. I see Nick in the 12. Shout out to Nick Bach, always putting on some good streams and a fun time over there on his channel, Winning the Flex with Nick Bach. I don't know if I recognize any of these other names. Let me know if you're in here. It's a Best Ball Mania, and we're getting into it from the 8th spot. Ward, I mean, people are telling me Ward has a good deep ball. He's a good leader of the locker room. He's, he played a good amount in college, so he's gotten the snaps under his belt, the experience. Titans' offensive line has improved. Seems like a pretty good situation. Seems like a team on the rise. Okay, I like that too. I think Ward was my first or second highest drafted quarterback during the big board, but for some reason, I have not been taking a bunch of Ward or Ridley during the current season. Like, and I was filtered for all tournaments, filtered for just Best Ball Mania. Let me go Titans. Well, I mean, I lied. Ridley's at 11.5%, Ward's at 8%, Spears 9, Pollard 9. So Puka or Neighbors or Collins. I'm going to keep going Puka. I've gotten to see like 10 to 11% of all these guys. I'm a little bit lower on Neighbors. Maybe it's the injuries, maybe it's the quarterback play or just the team in general. I don't want to be out on Neighbors, though. I mean, he led the league in targets as a rookie. When have we ever seen that happen? 170 targets, like 34% target share, an insane amount of first read targets. He supposedly has an upgraded QB play, so and their defense is even better now with Abdul Carter. Talking about the Giants and Malik Neighbors. But I still like Puka a lot too. Some people will take Puka in the top 5 or 6. I'm just glad that I'm not directly next to Nick Block, so he can't snipe all my picks. One thing about being in the middle of the board, you can get the following value like I did in the last draft where I was able to get Mahomes almost 20 picks past ADP and some other players that kind of fell right to me. I can kind of plan things out. I either prefer to be on the back end of the board, picks 10, 11, 12, or the front middle, like 4, 5, 6, I think. Those are my 2 favorite spots to kind of draft from. Where do y'all like to draft from in the board? Where do you prefer? Do you actually like the 101? I think the 101 is the worst spot on the board for me. I just can't stand building those teams. You're forced into Jahmyr Chase, which could be good, could be bad. Should be good, but then it's kind of hard to build teams out around it because you feel like you're forced into certain picks. Do you push Burrow? Do you take Burrow at 48, 49? All of the above kind of thing. So let me pull up my combination tool. I don't have any Puka Henry, which doesn't surprise me because I've gotten like so little Derrick Henry. I've only taken him once, right? I'm going to get the big dog on this one. It's been a while since I've been in a spot to get a start where I like to get Derrick Henry. So my Derrick Henry teams have been... Let me go find that Derrick Henry team in my portfolio. I think I can filter it to my Best Ball Manias and then search for Derrick Henry, and I can see how I built that team out. Shout out to Best Ball Overlay. Check it out. And teams with Derrick Henry. I thought that would work, but maybe it's just me. Derrick Henry. There it is. Boom. Best Ball Mania on 7/22 with Derrick Henry. I did a 3-6-7-2, and the team was Henry, Mason, Etienne, Spears, Eckler, Ford, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, Nico Collins, Adunze, Addison, Reed, Thielen, Hopkins. So it's a pretty heavy Raven stack with Lamar, Derrick Henry, Hopkins, Mark Andrews. Okay, I remember that team. So this Puka Derrick Henry team, we can do something slightly different. We're back up, pick 32. Lamar Jackson's gone anyways. I'm going to grab Marvin Harrison. He's falling here to pick 32. I think he's a good pick there. So Puka, Marvin Harrison, a very frequently paired together combo last year in 2024 at the 1-2 turn. I get a slight fall on Marv where his ADP is about 28. I get him at pick 32. I think he's a nice wide receiver 2 for me. I thought about going Josh Allen back to back. Let me see what I can get into. There's a player I really want at pick 41. I'm hopeful he'll be there. Let's just see. Nick Box starting with Brian Thomas and Drake London. That's kind of fun. Cam Ward's a field general. Yeah, I like that. That sounds good. I like to hear that. Yeah, I got to get those numbers up, right? Right, David? Don't want to know your Ridley ownership? I kind of do. I think I saw you talk about it one time. I think this must be pretty high. I mean, we know Ridley is good for fantasy. He can have huge spike weeks. He's been good for a long time. Was good last year. I think he was number one in air yards. Wasn't Calvin Ridley number one in air yards last season? And he's getting some quarterback upgrade. Man, Kittle goes at 39. I really would have liked Kittle at 41 for this team. I'm either going to go Xavier Worthy or T-Mac with my next pick. Could this be another Xavier Worthy team? Update, he doesn't have a concussion. Nope. He goes, I am going to take Tet Arroyo, McMillan. Let's hit the T-Mac clip. T-Mac is the best rookie wide receiver in this class. You could argue Travis Hunter, and I'll listen, but T-Mac can do it all. The yak, the downfield, the catches in the end zone, in the red zone. He can make guys miss when he gets the ball, the juke moves. I mean, he's fast, he's big. He's going to be catching a lot of targets and first read targets from Bryce Young. And I think, he can do it all. People will argue he scored 3 or 4 touchdowns, I think it was, 4 against New Mexico State. Weak competition. The dude's a target hog. He's going to be good. And the Panthers desperately need an upgrade for their alpha top wide receiver. And that's what T-Mac's going to deliver. So I'm excited for T-Mac for 2025. I'm drafting him a bunch. I think he's a great pick in the 4th round. A player we could be drafting in the 2nd round, the 3rd round, easily next season. He could have a ton of targets as a rookie. We just saw Malik Neighbors get an insane amount of targets. I mean, who knows how many T-Mac could get. I think in this range where you're drafting him, you're hoping he gets like 130 targets as a rookie. Coming back up at pick 56, Flowers is there, Ridley's there. I could do Harvey. I kind of want to do Harvey. Ridley, Kamara, James Conner, Harvey. Let me go James Conner. It's been a while since I've been able to click James Conner, and I still like him a lot. Hearing good things about James Conner. The coach speak is high on him. He is a bell cow running back. He can do it all. He's famously number 1 in juke rate in 2024 among running backs and has an incredibly high elusive rating, force missed tackles. So James Conner's going to continue to get it done. I don't think Trey Benson is much of a threat to his workload. I think pairing him with Marvin Harrison, I'm making a big bet on the Cardinals offense. I like it. Fun way to play it. Darkside Dev likes Ellick, Lockett, and Restrepo, some of the later pieces for the Titans. I mean, I passed up on Ridley there. He goes pick 59. Harvey goes, Addison Debo, Roma Dunze, Jalen Waddle. I've got a balanced build. I could either take Kamara with my next pick. I might pull up Matthew Golden or Jaden Reed. DeAndre Swift's been going higher and higher. There goes Jacoby Myers. I think I need to take Alvin Kamara. It's just the obvious pick here. He's getting older. He kind of trails off at the end of the season. The Saints might not be as good as ever. They just also drafted Kelvin Banks, complete stud, to bolster the offensive line. Maybe Shuck is not terrible after all. We'll see. Kamara in the 6th round, I'm interested. He can still be elite as a running back, put up some big weeks. So I'm going to be starting Kamara in my flex. That feels like a nice spot to be. I've made my first 6 picks. I've got 3 running backs, 3 receivers with Derrick Henry, James Conner, and Alvin Kamara. Drafting all of the old running backs on this squad. Receivers, we're going much younger. We got 3rd-year Puka Nacua, 2nd-year Marvin Harrison, and 1st-year Tet Arroyo McMillan. Time to get some QBs and tight ends on this roster. The big body guys that can get touchdowns. He does. He can separate. He can get the yards after the catch. He can catch it downfield. I think T-Mac can do it all. So I'm excited. Fantasy Dog with the 19th like. Appreciate you, my friend. Make sure you guys slap the like. Be like Fantasy Dog. Come say what up in the chat. Get subbed to the channel. Let's draft some teams together. Pick 80 coming up. ADP would say Caleb Johnson. He's been kind of a faller, I think, lately. Some news that he's not very good at pass protection. Excuse me. Oof. Do I want to get Hawkinson before the turn? I think I'm going to go with Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir, a little bit of a scare that he rolled up on his ankle today. I think there's still enough time. He just signed his big 4-year extension. He is their number 1 wide receiver. He's going to keep building on the seasons that he's put together. He's a really big yak guy, puts together, gets the ball, and then creates more yards. I think pick 80 price tag is good for Shakir. I would have liked if Hawkinson came back around, but that's okay. I need to figure something out at QB and at tight end sooner than later. Caleb Johnson, I'm not sure how much further he's going to fall. This seems like a fine range for him. I could have taken him too. I just felt stronger at running back, and I could use some more depth at receiver before it gets too late, because I'm thinking I'm going to be taking some QBs and tight ends pretty soon. The question comes, do I take Mixon at 89 if he's there? I think I do. Otherwise, it's Kyler Murray or Jaden Higgins, which could be another nice pick. I don't know. I'm very tempted to just go Kyler Murray on this team. I'm making the bet on Marvin Harrison. And then I also have James Conner. So big Cardinals team bet. Really, really a lot of draft capital. 3 of my first 8 picks. Joe Mixon's going to fall in this one a bit. We'll see who snatches him up. Nick Bach says, not me. I don't want the injured Joe Mixon. I want the injured Chris Godwin instead. But you got a nice value there on Caleb Johnson. Nice and blunt. What's up, brother? Yes, I was looking into some stats. I've been looking into a lot of data from last year lately, looking at slates in the second half of the year, weeks 12 or 13 through 17. I exclude week 18. And Thielen did close the season as a top 15 wide receiver. He was killing it. Yeah, in the final 7 for sure. So I think, T-Mac can elevate the offense even more, be an even bigger part of the passing and receiving game for them, make the passing game better. So if Thielen can do that, imagine what T-Mac can get going. I think it's wheels up. That's a good point. But yeah, I was just looking at that too. I think I had it filtered for weeks 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So like the 5 last weeks of the tournament season. And I think Thielen averaged like 17 points per game during that time in half PPR, which is insane. So people forget. I think that's what it was. Going off memory here. Appreciate y'all chilling with me on a Friday night. Hope y'all are doing well, getting after it in these drafts, having some fun. Okay, guys, the moment of truth. Joe Mixon's there. Auto click. Because I was going to take Mark Andrews, but Joe Mixon at 104 on the build that I've got where I don't even need him. Like my running backs are legit without him, but with him, looking very strong. Could even build a hyper fragile out of this team now. Emphasis on the fragile fragility part of it, with Mixon already being injured, but feels very strong. And my wide receiver room, it's not like it's that bad either. So can I get a tight end that I like still? And then who else do I want to stack up? Obviously, there's some late QB options with Puka or T-Mac. I think it's time for me to get a tight end or maybe another receiver here. The other receivers, I love Luther Burden, but I'm going to take like a Colston Loveland or an Njoku if they're there. Justin Fields is still available. Drake May. And then Caleb Williams is there. I don't think it's the team for me to grab one of those guys. I really want to go with Loveland here. Loveland or Njoku, I think. Let me look at it one last time. I'm gonna go Colston Loveland. I'm a big believer in the talent. This range of the board, I think it makes a lot of sense. Take the upside in a guy like Colston Loveland. The matchup against Cleveland, Green Bay, and then San Francisco, I don't know how good or bad that could be. But they, Colston Loveland, a really great scheme fit for Ben Johnson, the Bears offense, the short and intermediate parts of the field. He's going to dominate. Ben Johnson's been talking up wanting to increase Caleb Williams' passer rating, get him more completions, increase his completion rate. And one way to do that is giving him easy schemed up looks, short and intermediate passes. So that's why they drafted Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, guys that can do that and then win after the catch. So I'm very high on Colston Loveland. I'm going to keep drafting him. My only thought there was like, do I take David Njoku and then try to get Colston Loveland to come back around? But considering I just took Njoku in the last draft and then I just felt really good about Loveland there, I'm probably going to be going with some later QB options. And so this is where I want to get my tight ends while everyone else is grabbing QBs. What else can I land here? Do I want Christian Kirk at pick 128 is a good question. Caleb Williams goes off the board. Okay, he was available for a second. Yeah, Kirk is gone. It's Goff, Love, or Tootin. Do I pull up Goddard? Man. I'm going to take Jared Goff there. I've got a bye week issue now with my 2 QBs, but I think I'm going to take one later. Anyways, I don't have any of the lines so far, but getting Goff 10 picks past ADP to me feels nice. And there's some ways to backstack it. I did this recently. I did this in another draft recently where I took Goff around pick 130 and then I backstacked him. towards the end of the draft. So I think it can still pay off. If obviously if Caleb Williams would have been there at 128, smash to go with Loveland. Goff, honestly, a better QB is going to score way more points than Caleb Williams anyways. I'm just saying. And the player that I wanted that I would have pulled up to 128, I'm like 70% sure he'll still be there at 137. Hope I didn't jinx it. I mean, there's 3 players I'd take. Yeah. So I wanted Dallas Goedert there. I also would have accepted a few different running backs. I really can afford to keep pushing running back, though, the way that I started with Derrick Henry on this squad. So through my first 12 picks, I've got a 2-4-4-2, very balanced build. Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, the big dog, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Alvin Kamara, and Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon passed pick 100 too, so feels good there. Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison, T-Mac, Khalil Shakir, Colston Loveland, and Dallas Goedert. I've got 2 really nice tight ends, pretty good wide receiver room, a bunch of like alpha, big target earner type of guys. The running back room feels extremely strong. And then QBs, I mean, I haven't stacked Goff yet, but two nice QB options in the QB pocket, rounds 8 and 9 going to 11 and 12. Let's see what we can get into. Did Caleb die? I know, Nick. You grabbed Caleb super late there. I think that was a good pickup by you. BP, what's up, my friend? Hope you're having a great Friday night. Thanks for stopping in. BP, a chat favorite. Man, I hope the Shakir news is not really bad, but let's not overthink it, this early. Dang, I would have taken Josh Palmer there. Instead, I'll get my boy Blue, Jaden Blue on this squad. Pick 152, incredible. I mean, have people not heard yet that he's going to be the best running back on the Dallas Cowboys in 2025? People might not have heard. I don't care if he's the starter week 1. I care what his role is in week 17 when it matters, when there's money on the line. We're trying to win this thing. And I still think he's going to have big plays all season long for them. Jaden Blue, start drafting if you're not. If you're not drafting Jaden Blue, I can't help you. If you haven't figured it out yet. I really don't need another running back, so I'm going to stick with those 5, and I need to hammer some wide receivers. And Bryce Young goes, kind of a bummer. He would have been nice on this squad. Very reasonable time just to take Stafford. Cam Ward's there. Anthony Richardson's there. I have Puka, so I'm just going to take Stafford. And, I just realized the week 8 bye. That'd be 3 on the week 8 bye. So, no, I will go Cam Ward. And then I'll backstack him. I'm glad I caught that, but that would have been hilarious to draft 3 QBs all on the week 8 bye. Would have had to really punt it. But I guess I didn't even realize that when I took Goff. Maybe whatever. Could have taken another receiver there. There was no one that I liked in that spot. So I still think Goff's a good pick. And then whatever, we can sell it because about the Stafford back injury and stuff. We can play it through without Stafford. and just lean on Kyler Murray, and then I've got depth with Goff and Ward to give me some nice floor on my weekly QB scores. And then we'll backstack Ward. You guys were giving me some good ideas earlier, talking them up. So I'm in. I thought about waiting to try to land Richardson at pick 176, but it's just going to be too risky. I think the odds that Richardson comes back to 176 right now, I put it at about 50-50, and there's really no other QBs I would have liked available. I would have had to settle for like Aaron Rodgers or something much worse. So I just felt like it was time to grab Cam Ward there. I know Nick Bach likes to go with like a Conquo when he gets Cam Ward. People have been taking a Lockett. I think could make some sense. There's Alec Ayomanor, Jahmyr Dike. We got some options. I'll take another Alec Pierce. I'll draft all the Alec Pierce I can get. I mean, you could even take Xavier Restrepo if you're feeling ballsy. People have been saying, this year's Puka Nacua. Not me, but some people. Let me know what y'all think. Excluding Nick, who's actually in this draft, what do y'all think is a good way to backstack Cam Ward? Your favorite way to play it? Is it Lockett? Is it Alec Ayomanor? Is it Chig Okonkwo? Let me know what you guys typically do, how you like to play it. What's your favorite path to go down? I'm listening. I'm going to try to figure this one out. What is Chig Okonkwo's ADP? I guess it's been falling a little bit. It's currently about 189. Is Okonkwo even worth drafting, though? I don't have him ranked very highly. I know Nick likes him a decent amount. Michael Wilson leaves practice after a hit 5 hours ago. He likely a concussion. I think I'm going to go with Jalen Knoll here. Grab one more receiver that I like. A rookie with some upside. So that puts me through my 16 picks, the 16th round, right? 3-5-6-2 build with Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, Cameron Ward. Don't call him Cam. Derrick Henry, James Conner, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Jaden Blue. I'm done there with that running back room. Very strong. Puka, Marv, T-Mac, Shakir, Alec Pierce, Jalen Knoll. So playing into my Texans team stack. And tight ends, Colston Loveland, Dallas Goedert. I think I do want one more tight end. Chig Okonkwo got drafted. For me, pick 17 and 18 coming up. I could either take two receivers. I could take a receiver and a tight end. Let's just see who's available. Titans players wise, Lockett, Ayomanor, DK. DK was drafted ahead of Ayomanor, right? But there goes Lockett. But you guys seem to think that Alec Ayomanor is the better pick. He might be. How we doing? Doing great on this Friday, man. Drafting some best ball teams. Getting ready for a nice weekend. Gonna hit the pool tomorrow. Maybe get some chores done, some front yard work, some car work, some basic stuff. Yo, what up, Dr. B? Yeah, Mixon falling was pretty nice. There we go. Yes. Yeah. That's a stat that I know through um through Zach and Badaki of Fantasyland. They were putting out a lot of content this summer, and before all of our rookie drafts, they were talking about the hit rates on running backs, tight ends, receivers, and quarterbacks drafted in the first, second, third, fourth round plus, and tight ends and running backs drafted in the first round have the highest hit rates within the first 3 years of their career. QBs and receivers actually much lower for first round picks. Okay, let's see. I love that. I love to hear it. Ayo Manor. Ayo Manor goes. DK is still there. Is it worth even stacking him? Do I want to grab a tight end like Jawan Johnson? Trying to figure out what to do because I've got a 3-5-7-2 build. Colston Loveland and Dallas Goedert. Goddard notorious for missing time. Colston Loveland, a rookie, could easily miss time. I don't really need another receiver. I think I'm going to take best available tight end and go with Jawan Johnson over DK. Solidify some points for this team. So kind of a crazy way. I ended up taking Isaac Tesla at pick 200 to secure the stack with Jared Goff, which I think makes a ton of sense. If you miss out on all of the skill position players that go ahead of Jared Goff, I got him in a falling value, backstacking with Tesla. It's the second time I've done it in like the last 24 hours. Could be good. And then instead of taking Jahmyr DK or Restrepo, I don't even know if they're going to see the field that much. So I took Jawan Johnson. Where did Keenan Allen go? 179. Very nice. Smart. He's going to be a Charger, pretty sure. Talking about that earlier. I think Jawan Johnson just gives me a higher floor for my tight end room than if I just took another dart throw at wide receiver. But let me know what you guys think. Should I have, instead of going naked Cam Ward, would it have been smarter to stack him with a random rookie who might not even see the field, who might be a special teamer? I would have taken Tyler Lockett at pick 200, didn't make it to me. I would have taken Ayo Manor at pick 209. He didn't make it back around. I preferred to have Tesla over those guys anyways, straight up. But I had the stack with Jared Goff. So I didn't force the Cam Ward Titan stack. I think he just gives me, coverage for my week 8 bye. He also is a nice floor play for my quarterback room. We know Kyler and Goff can both have some pretty low scoring weeks. I think Cam Ward set up for success with his strong offensive line. And then Okonkwo, I was ready to take Okonkwo. I thought about taking Okonkwo here at pick 185. He went 188, so I could have done that. Maybe I go Okonkwo there at 185. I still get Tesla at 200. And then for pick 209, I just take any other random receiver. But I think Jalen Noel is also a very good prospect. He's just going to have to beat out Christian Kirk or just, play a lower amount of snaps. Maybe he comes on strong at the end of the season. I think Noel's got a good football IQ. He interviewed very, very well during the draft process. The two highest graded interviewing wide receivers, it was Emeka Egbuka. He pretty much reset the benchmark for the highest scoring football IQ of any player going through the draft process at wide receiver. If you haven't heard that already, Emeka Egbuka, incredibly high football IQ. And then Jalen Noel was second on the list, but he was kind of in that expected high scoring range. I forget who posted this on Twitter, but it's something that I saw, and then I saw it again recently and was reminded. And so it might be a little bit subjective to who's scoring that and how they're whatever they're putting together, but it stuck with me. And I think people know Jalen Noel's good. The Texans have been hyping up Jaden Higgins a ton. In this draft, Higgins went pick, what was it, 91? That's a good price. Egg Buka went pick 76. It's starting to get a little expensive, but I think it's still very fair. Golden 78. Fun draft. Let's give a one final review of this team. Catch up with y'all in the chat. See what's going on. There we go. Oh, Dr. B, you're a Titans fan? Interesting. Nick Box says, the dude who won BBM4 for Reed had naked Stroud, just saying. And it was when Stroud was a rookie and he got Stroud, I think it was the 17th round or the 18th round. Let's investigate. Boom. Sorry to blind you. This is some of that data I've been talking about. I mentioned it to Hartman. I was talking with it over when I had Mike from Mike's Money Picks on recently. We were talking about this data I put together. Some running back data, looking at running back slates, performance. Maybe I can zoom in a bit more. Joe Mixon had, across all of his potential possible 3-game slates, my dog just woke up and freaked out and like sprinted across the room to go back asleep against the other wall. That was dog stuff. So Joe Mixon, a slate would be weeks 15 to 17, 3 games consecutively. And then Hartman and I were talking through this the other day, and like I re-ranked this so that I have, well, in the raw data, I re-ranked it here so that it's sorted by 3 games first. Anyways, Joe Mixon shows up between weeks, and I'll have to zoom out a little bit on this one actually. Between weeks 6 and 8. There we go. That's fine. Joe Mixon averaged 24 fantasy points per game across all 3 of those games in weeks 6 through 8. It's early in the season, but the dude was a stud. And so 24 points per game. He was a QB1 on the week as in a top 12, RB1 on the week as in a top 12 RB. He eclipsed my running back 1 threshold, which is greater than 17 half-point PPR points per game. And then he hits the elite flag, which is also sorted on, which is more than 20 points averaged across 3 consecutive weeks, which is what it takes to be a truly elite running back to win the game, the whole tournament for you. We see Jonathan Taylor, his famous week 15 through 17 performance is number 9 on the year in terms of scoring across a 3-week slate. Saquon Barkley has 3 out of the top 5 appearances. Derrick Henry has 2 out of the top 4. Some of it overlaps a little bit. Like both of these with Barkley overlaps weeks 11 and 12. But the dude was a monster between weeks 10 and 13, between weeks 1 and 3, and then 12 to 14. So really from weeks 10 to 14, Saquon Barkley was averaging more than 26 points per game. Insane. Kamara shows up here. There's Jonathan Taylor's best ball mania winning finish. People forget Jahmyr Gibbs also put up 25 points consecutively across those 3 weeks. The problem with Gibbs was you couldn't have had Jamar Chase with Jahmyr Gibbs. They were both going in the first round, right? So you needed Jamar Chase, you needed T. Higgins, and Jonathan Taylor as well, and he fit that. Josh Jacobs had some nice weeks in there. So there we see, James Conner showing up. Weeks 14 to 16, he averaged 24 points for 3 straight weeks. So this is the data that I've been looking into, doing some stuff with. and then summarizing it here to say, okay, across week 1 to 3, and then 2 to 4, and then 3 to 5, there's 15 3-week slates between weeks 1 to 17. If I summarize all that data, what % of the time are you hitting these outcomes? So across those 15 slates, Saquon Barkley was a top 12 running back 73% of the time. He was a top 24 running back 93% of the time. Gibbs was a top 24 running back 100% of the time. Insane. Hitting my scoring thresholds, which is elite is greater than 20 points average across 3 weeks. RB1 would be greater than 17, RB2 greater than 13, RB3 greater than 10. We had Saquon averaging more than 20 points across a 3-week slate 47% of the time last season. So he did it in 7 slates out of a possible 15. I mean, the odds that Saquon was the guy you needed and not Jonathan Taylor was extremely high. But the reality, the branch of the outcomes on the decision tree that we ended up at, Jonathan Taylor right here, Jonathan Taylor versus Saquon. Jonathan Taylor was truly elite 20% of the time. He just was perfectly, the guy you needed weeks 15 to 17 and for his price tag. He only had 3 elite slates. Saquon had 7. But and Saquon was, notoriously cheap last year too. So Saquon did it more than anyone else. Joe Mixon did it 6 times, only playing 13 games. There is some weird things in the data where it's like some of those are 2-week slates for him because he missed some time, and so it's a little bit fudged. But 40% of the time, Joe Mixon was elite. Guys like Derrick Henry showing up 40% of the time. Gibbs and Bijan above 25% of the time they were crushing slates. Josh Jacobs. So I forget how we even got on this topic and what we were looking at. I think we were just talking to the chat about what we've been getting into. Oh, Nick brought up Fareed's winning team, and then I was just showing the data that I keep here right next to. Let's go into the notes, and then let me hide this for a sec, and then refresh. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button, vote in the poll. Let's look at some winning Best Ball Mania teams. I keep a lot of data, and I crunch some numbers in some Google Sheets, and then I keep this on hand too. So Fareed won Best Ball Mania 4. This is the team that Nick's talking about. He took CJ Stroud in the 17th round, naked, completely unstacked. He also had Juwan Johnson, shout out, and Kyren Williams, the guy you had to have in round 18. Sometimes to win it all, you have to make not only the right picks in rounds 1 and 2, but the right pick in round 18. So it's incredible to see. And then, Juwan Johnson was on the winning roster each of the last 2 seasons. Here's Elgrew 50's team from last year. We got Pat Kerrane's team from a few years ago now over here. It's always good to refresh on what these teams are, how they won. Kerrane had an RB start. He's a 1-2-4-1 build, balanced through 8 rounds. He ended up with a 3-5-8-2. He had a flex, a wide receiver hitting his flex, Tyquan Thornton, to win it. And he had some nice stacked up quarterbacks. We look at Fareed's team. He started off with 5 straight wide receivers, so 0 running back, and took Madison, who literally did nothing for him all season, but he made up for it because he hit on Kyren in round 18. So you can take some zeros as long as you get the right guys in like the super late rounds. Same thing with Stroud was helping out there. I think Hubbard did okay. Reed was a nice hit. Love was a nice hit, of course. Laporta. So 5 wide receivers through 5 rounds, a 3-6-6-3 build, 3 running backs through 8 rounds, 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends in the mid rounds. His winning lineup had a flexed wide receiver. And then the winner last year, a balanced start, a 1-2-4-1 through 8 rounds, just like Kurane's team, but did it in a different way where he took a wide receiver, a running back, and then 2 wide receivers, and then a running back, then Kittle, the tight end. Hit a 2-5-8-3 build, 3 running backs through 9 rounds. The winning lineup that he had was flexing a wide receiver. Starting to see a trend here. Balance starts, and even when you aren't balanced, get balanced pretty quickly, or balance out by the end of your, by the end of the draft with the draft capital buckets and the way you're allocating your positions that you're making. If you're going to take 5 wide receivers through 5 rounds, only take 6 and then tack them on. Jaden Reed, rookie, round 15, a lot of upside. I think that's when Jaden Reed was a rookie, right? I think so. 1, 2. Yeah, that makes sense. It was. So, and then look, this team last year had Burton and Chandler on it. So your round 13 and 14 picks could be complete zeros all season long, and you can still win Best Ball Mania. So just some things to remember. Rookie QBs do feel like a value every year. 100% Hartman. I would agree with that very strongly. What if Amika is actually replacing Cohen instead of Godwin? Yeah, you're right. I mean, that football IQ is so high. He could be coaching the team before he even plays for it. I mean, just like Travis Hunter is both playing offense and defense, Amika Egbuka is going to be coaching and playing. He's that good. 5th round Madison always gives me hope. I know, right? So you can get a lot of things wrong and just get enough things right. Incredible. Let's review this team and then look at Nick's team and then figure out what we're going to draft next. I think we're having some fun here. I'm going to close the poll too. Take your last votes. I'm going to go look at the poll on YouTube and then close it. We got 41 people watching right now. We got 25 likes on the stream. Let's go, guys. Let's get those likes up. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you're having a great Friday night. Let's draft some more teams together. I'm having fun. We're talking some ball. We're talking through game theory, the best ball manias, past winners, looking through some data. I mean, if you're still watching this, you just watched me talk about running back data for 10 minutes and you're still watching this, you're in the right place. You are either a ball knower or a spreadsheet socialist or spreadsheet virgin. You're definitely a best ball virgin. You're definitely a DGen. You're in the right place. Let's draft some teams together. Let's ship some of these tournaments. It's about time. I'm going to close the poll. So vote while you can. I think what I said in the poll, I can't even see the poll. There it is. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm ending the poll. Get your votes in. Make sure you slap the like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If for some reason you're watching this in the future, if you're new to the channel tonight, help me out. I'm trying to get to 500 subs before the start of the NFL season. We're getting pretty close. I'm at 417. I'm honestly surprised that I was able to grow the channel this much this summer. But I'm just having fun drafting best ball teams, vibing with y'all, hanging with y'all. So I appreciate y'all being here, helping me out, and drafting with me. Always good to catch up with y'all in the chat. Hope you guys are having a great Friday night and getting ready for a nice weekend, touching some grass, staying cool by some water. It's hot out there this summer. Spending time with family, drafting some teams. The kids are asleep. The dog is asleep. The house is quiet. What else we got to do? Let's draft some best ball teams. I'm closing the poll now. Looks like we got some more votes in right at the end there. I thought I closed the poll. I have no idea where that went. Did you guys see the poll close? I thought it said 61%. I have no idea what happened there. I thought I closed the poll. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, I had to refresh. Is Jahmyr the 101? 60% yes. His ceiling is the best. 39% no. It is somebody else on 38 votes. That's interesting. I think you guys are just leaning into the thumbnail and just trying to make me happy by saying that Gibbs is the 101. but maybe we should start drafting like it. Maybe I should start drafting like it. I got to move Gibbs back up in my ranks. I'm always adjusting my ranks. Really, in the first 2 rounds, my ranks should be closer to 80 ADP because I don't want to be out on any given player. We just looked at the data. Like Saquon Barkley can break the slate any given moment. Bijan's not too far behind. Gibbs is pretty close behind. The receivers are just a very strong way to build. We know that. So, but I kind of do want some more Gibbs. I need to get my Gibbs numbers up at least. Let's see. The sickos live here. Yep. Definitely got to be sick to be spending your Friday night drafting best ball teams with me. But I love it. I don't even think we've reviewed this team yet. Let's do a super quick review of this team. Look at Nick Bach's team, and we'll figure out what we're going to draft next. I think we should try to fill a sprint. I think we could do it. We did one last night, and we almost did a second one last night. So either in a sprint would be fun. I'm going to cap it on 2 best ball manias tonight. We'll do some more best ball manias either tomorrow or Sunday or soon enough. This one's a 3-5-7-3 build. Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, and Cam Ward. I've got Kyler with James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't have any Bengals bringbacks. I don't have any Falcons. I've got Mixon and Jalen Noel, week 15. Jared Goff with Isaac Tesla. I don't think I have any Vikings or Steelers or Rams. No, I have Puka. Yeah, I have a Ram, of course. And then Cam Ward, got Alvin Kamara as a bring back. I have Cam Ward naked, not stacked at all. KC, I don't know if I have any pieces on this team. And then San Fran, I don't think so either. Derrick Henry, the big dog. James Conner, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Jaden Blue, some rookie upside. Bunch of old running backs, and then Jaden Blue. Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison, T-Mac. So the young receivers, Khalil Shakir, hope his ankle's okay. Roll up on it today. He rolled his ankle today in practice. Alec Pierce, I can't stop drafting him. I'm taking Alec Pierce on most teams, it seems like, at an insane rate. This is like my 2nd or 3rd Alec Pierce team today. Jalen Noel, Isaac Tesla, the man of the first quarter yesterday, besides KLS, and Vidal, who had a pretty good game too. Colston Loveland, who is a little bit hurt, but should be fine. We already knew that coming into it. Dallas Goedert never played 17 games in his entire career, always hurt. Juwan Johnson, somewhat limited, but should be coming back, should be good. So then I got some nice pieces. So, I don't have any stacks with Cam Ward, but I do have him playing the Saints in week 17, and I've gotten Juwan Johnson and Alvin Kamara. So that's something. It's a fun squad. 3 rookie wide receivers, rookie tight end, rookie running back, rookie QB. So a lot more rookies on this squad than the last one. I think the last squad was pretty insane with Josh Allen and then Mahomes, 20 picks past ADP, stacked up with Xavier Worthy. But this one feels nice. Just a bunch of good values, some decent stacks, some good players. It's a Derrick Henry team, so got to get some of those in the portfolio. Let's see what Nick Bach did here. 2-7-7-2 build. Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, incredible QB room. Ken Walker, RJ Harvey, and a big falling, almost 20 picks on Caleb Johnson. Super nice. Tank Bigsby, I like. Algier, of course, good. Bill, Krosky Merritt, and DJ Giddens. I see what you did with JCM. I probably would have stopped with... Well, let's just see how the rest of the team goes. I probably would have stopped with 6 running backs there. Let's just see how the rest of the team goes. Brian Thomas in London, I remember you starting that way. You got Debo stacked up, very nice. Godwin, Xavier Legette, Jack Besh, Darius Slayton. I think you're good, though. As long as Godwin comes back fast enough, your receivers are good. So maybe you didn't need the 8th one. Warren and Kraft, I don't see any problems with playing it through those 2. I don't know, ticky-tack, but my only hindsight, perfect. Hindsight is perfect, looking back on things. Maybe you just tack on an extra tight end I don't know how you would have taken an extra quarterback and it would have been any better. I don't see like an obvious pairing that you didn't get. Maybe Penix, if Penix would have been available for cheap. You could have thrown Penix on this one or even Bryce Young. Maybe. I think you took Leggett right around where Bryce Young went, so you probably didn't have the chance. Maybe Dart or Geno Smith. But I definitely would have taken Anthony Richardson if you had the shot at Anthony Richardson going late with Tyler Warren. Anytime I have Tyler Warren, I do like to get Richardson. I mean, I'll take Richardson on most teams if he's there, especially since I take so much Alec Pierce. But Richardson went 178. You picked a 180. Yeah, so that would have been clutch to get Richardson at 180. I think, unless you're just like out on him. No, I like this squad. It's a really fun team. 2772 is a fun way to play it too. Yeah, I think it's still fine though. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see how close we can get to filling a sprint. Let's see if we can fill a sprint. I'm going to jump into this and check to see where it's at. The sprint is filled. We filled a sprint, instant fill. That's rare. And I'm in the 2 spot. Oh, and look who it is in the 1 spot. BBG. BBG, come pop in. BBG was with us last night. We drafted a sprint last night, and we tried to fill a second one. I don't even think BBG was in the first sprint. He was just watching it happen. Neil Orfield got in the first sprint last night. And did Steve get in? I can't remember if Steve was in the first one. And then we tried to fill a second sprint. Yeah, I snapped. I guess they were waiting on one, and I jumped in. I didn't even look at Twitter to see if there was any bat signal. I didn't even have the Discord open. Sorry about that, Hartman. Yeah, people hoping for AR now. It's a crazy year. Impossible. Sorry, my man. Missed it. I've got Meg's sprint rankings in here from the Fanspeak network. I bet you BBG's like doesn't even realize this thing filled because he's taken the whole clock to draft Jahmyr Chase. I'm gonna go Barkley here. There he is. He's back. And then he's like, okay, look, the sprint filled. Nice. And then he's thinking, wait, man, Candyman's in the 2 spot. Let me go jump into his chat and say what up. Come on in, BBG. The Badge Bros Brawl is still open at 64% filled. The Husky is still open. It's 78% filled. That's cool. The Flock Community Contest is going to fill tonight. It's 57% filled. Maybe it'll fill early tomorrow. That Flock contest. I don't think I'm going to do any of the Flock. I think the top payout was 10,000, and the 1 out of 12 advance is pretty rough for a 3 max. But I mean, I think if it's your thing, if it's like a fun contest you're interested in, then I could see why you would want to enter it. Just for me, it doesn't. I mean, there's gonna be like a Flock contest 1 to 10. There's like 10 of them. So if those are contests you think are fun, then I do like that it's a 1 of 2 for weeks 15 and 16. That's kind of fun. Eliminator-esque. But the 1 out of 12 is rough up front for advancing for only a $10,000 payout. I wonder if the next, like if they get to a bigger Flock community contest that is like the Flock community contest number 3 and the payout's like 50,000, I'd start to get interested, depending if it was still like a $10 entry, if they just have 5 times as many people entering it, which they easily could do because that one's going to fill in 24 hours and we've got a whole month to go. So interesting stuff. Yeah, BBG, we'll see if he pops in. I'll shoot him a little message. I'll say, hey, get in here. Hartman was in first place for the WNBA Daily. Oh, dang. Well, you should draft a sprint if you can fill one. So the double overtime. So the overtimes count, obviously, for the scoring. I know in the golf best ball tournaments, if players go to playoff holes, the scores on the playoff holes do not count for their scoring, which is kind of crazy. But like, let's say you have two golfers, and they're going for a playoff on Sunday, and they play like 5 extra holes. You don't get any points for that, which I think is kind of weird. I think you should get the points. Maybe. BP said it, not me. Oh, poor Hartman. The world's smallest violin. That does suck, though. That does suck. Missing out on winning a WNBA slate. That would have been sick. And then yeah, we miss you in this sprint. But I guess me and BBG will just have to advance out of this one on our own. Yeah, I'll just take Bucky. I think a Bucky Saquon start is pretty fun, pretty strong. Let's see what BBG does at the 2-3 turn. Oh, how do I not take Josh Jacobs? T. Higgins, of course, can win it all. Devontae Adams, pretty good too. Lamar Jackson, probably a nice pick. Let me pull up Lamar Jackson here. Getting a lot different. Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Tyreek Hill start. I go Saquon, Bucky, and Lamar Jackson. Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. That seems very strong as well. High T. I did not hit the gym today. I mean, it's definitely too late at this point. We'll see. Maybe I'll get some crunches in before bed. Maybe I'll do some stretching. I definitely should do some stretching. I've been sitting in computer chairs all day, unfortunately. Didn't make it to the gym. Go in the morning, I guess. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a big dog walk in the morning too. It's a good option. We'll see. We'll see. Get the lighter fluid, buddy. Yeah, BP said it, not me. We still up though. Can't cry too much. There you go. You're still winning. But it'd be fun to take one down. Never too late to hit the gym. I mean, I have exercise equipment in my office here. Like, I have an exercise bike right there. I have some weights that I don't know where they are right now, probably in the garage. Hit the ground, do some push-ups, do some crunches, do some stretches. That's about as far as I can go. If I actually worked out right now, I would just stay up even later. 1.3 is going to get burnt too much by wide receiver flying off the board. We'll see, FK. Like, I'm curious about that too. I think it's a pretty fun start, though. You just got to build out right. Kind of me too. Like me 102, 103, we both got to land some receivers here. Wow, Kittle goes pick 43. That's nice. Hartman, I did 3 Huskies so far. I'll probably do 1 or 2 more. How about you? Did you max the Husky? I just wasn't sure if I was going to max it. I'm still trying to get my BBMs in without getting too far behind. What is this ADP on Pickens? Okay, no, there it is. I think BBG will take Cook here, but if he doesn't, I kind of will. I don't want to get buried, though, at wide receiver. Yeah, he goes Cook. I kind of figured he would. He goes Smith. Zay Flowers ranked really low in Meg's rankings. I'll just take DK. I honestly think Flowers. Let me just stack them up. IKB the ranks. But if I'm going to have Lamar and it's a decent range for Flowers, I'll take Flowers there. 30-year breakout. Try to get a career year for touchdowns and targets. George Pickens, of course, the Dallas offense. He's going to have a career year in terms of routes run and probably targets too if it all goes well. So I started off with a 1-2-2 build. Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, and Bucky Irving is my core foundation of this team. And then I've added Pickens and Zay Flowers. So Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Tyreek Hill, James Cook, Devonta Smith for BBG. He doesn't add Burrow at 49. Does Burrow come back around to 72? The guy who took T. Higgins, though, got him at like a really good price. Yeah, 31. I almost took T. Higgins at 23. He goes at 31. And Mike Evans at 42. The team in the 7th spot's cooking. He got James Conner as his first running back. I don't hate that at all. It's a really nice team. So a good, strong kind of 0 RB start in the 7 spot. I did the complete opposite, a high T start with an elite QB. And now I'm picking up some receivers that fall to me. Joe Burrow goes pick 70 or 61 on the other side of the board to completely unstacked. So interesting. Hartman's done 9. Gonna max it for sure. Hell yeah, brother. I mean, it's got some good advance rates. Jumping jacks after these picks until I'm back on the clock. BP, that is that's not a bad idea. But no. Or squats you choose. Call it a day. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I need to though. I need to. I need to do some stretching before I go to bed. Maybe do something active a little bit. Been sitting in these computer chairs all day. At the same time, it's a great idea and also a terrible idea. Ooh, let's see. Yo, what up, BBG? What up, dog? Okay. Addison. Jennings, Jerry Judy, Addison. I like Addison. It's a sprint. We're trying to win at the end of the season. Addison gets me there. Even with a suspension, I hope it's not like more than 3 games, 2-3 games. Could have done a few different options there. You know who's been getting a lot of good news? We'll see what BBG does. He takes Golden. Nice pick. Stephon Diggs has been getting good news. And like, do I want to take him now in this spot? Or Pacheco? I will go Diggs. I don't take a ton of Diggs. I haven't been taking like an insane amount of him. I think he fits this team nicely, kind of where I'm at. and giving me one more alpha receiver before it comes back to me at pick 95 with like who knows who will be there. And maybe there's still a receiver that I like that I might want to take with some upside, but I'll get my four receivers with Pickens, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, and then Stephon Diggs. No, I wouldn't have taken Burrow there. I just didn't have any way to stack them. But yeah, Burrow going 61 in this room, typical. We did it. We filled a sprint 2 nights in a row. What are the odds of that? It's a miracle. It's a Friday night. I guess people are like more active in drafting. Oh, BBG is going live tonight. A late night, 10 his time. I get yeah, it's only 9:40 over there. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, 1 Eastern. Doing no favors for the Eastern crowd. The coastal elites. The East Coast, West Coast rivalry. It's kind of funny though because it's been talked about before, but like when you're on the West Coast, you get to draft against all of the East Coasters coming back drunk from the bars or like being out or just drinking at home late at night. There's some kind of distinct advantage there. It doesn't go the other way. Like the East Coasters don't like stay up and take advantage of the other drafters. I wonder if that's a real thing. We'll never know, but it's fun to think about. I always think it's funny when like Pat will get active in the Discord around like 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern time, and he'll be like in the currently drafting, like, "Hey, what are we drafting, guys?" Like all the random late night drafts. Ooh, there's some good values falling. Okay, I think I know what I want to do there because I don't have a tight end yet. I could use another running back. I've got my flex filled with a wide receiver. Interesting that Evan Ingram goes. Ah, damn. I really wanted Jaden Reed or Hawkinson. They both go there. Let me think what I should do here. I think I'm just going to get my guy then. Cam Scattaboo, welcome to the squad. RB3. Oh, damn. He goes Mark Andrews. That would have been a good pick for me too with Lamar. I don't know why. Didn't get there with Meg's rankings. Boom. I'll take Prescott. A little early, but secure the stack with Pickens. Kind of take it or leave it with all the running backs and receivers in this range. And then I'll see who comes back at tight end because if I'm not going to get Mark Andrews, I'll just push it. I really wanted either Hawkinson or Andrews. I honestly should have taken Andrews first. It's so weird looking at ranks in the sprint versus my personal ranks that I've got for Best Ball Mania. I'm so used to my personal ranks in Best Ball Mania that I'm looking at these sprint ranks that I've uploaded. They're Meg's sprint ranks from the Fan Speak Best Ball subscription, and I haven't like done enough sprints to memorize all the differences in these rankings and where things go. So like I was looking for Mark Andrews there, or I was just looking at like my next 10 available players, and I didn't even see Mark Andrews. McCarthy goes at the 101. Is that the Justin Jefferson drafter? It's got to be, right? Yeah, in the 5 spot. So, I mean, with Jalen Hurts at 44, I would think to push JJ McCarthy at least to 116, but maybe you get a little bit nervous. I did something similar. I took Dak pretty early. I just thought for sure the CeeDee Lamb drafter in the 4 spot would have to pass Dak twice and doesn't have a quarterback, so I just snatched him up there. More likely I'll get a tight end to come back around that I do like. Okay, sweet. Probably should have sent that before, because you know how these fast drafts go with the 20-second clocks. Boom. BBG, check the DM. Kind of nice to be on the turn, too. Gives me some more time to look ahead for these picks. Oh, God. There's no way I'd take Drake May. I hope someone else takes him because I don't even want to have to think about it. Through my first 9 picks, I've got a 2-3-4 build. I could use a tight end. Let's focus on that. I need a tight end and then maybe another running back soon. The one, the only best ball guy. What's up, my friend?
Hey, what's going on?
Just drafting some best ball teams, chilling on a Friday night, living the dream.
I know you got me pinched here, man. Wow, doesn't go Burden. Rookie move.
Got to get a tight end at some point.
I feel you. I'm hoarding them.
I'm surprised you took Mark Andrews. What the hell? You already had McBride.
Yeah, but I had Packers. I'm going Love here. And you gotta get that Mark Andrews bump going right now with the likely injury. I mean, come on.
Okay, good point. I should have taken him. I don't know why he didn't just pop up in my queue in my ranks. Ooh, okay. Now here, you've kind of talked me back into Burden. I mean, I do like Burden. I think I need the upside at wide receiver as well since I started so late, and I'm feeling fine.
I think it's a great pick. Apparently, he's been killing it at camp. I just couldn't take him there. I really needed running back, so I had to go Spears. This is my second running back only.
Oh, for sure. And the way I'm looking at it, it's like I could have taken a 4th running back there. I started off with Saquon and Bucky, so I'm not going to be like pressed in my running back position group. And I would have taken Charbonnet, but I think the difference between Charbonnet and the running back I can get at pick 143 is not that significant. But then like the difference between Luther Burden and
Christian Kirk
is like night and day.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Luther Burden right there is the last real big swing at wide receiver you can make in a draft. I mean, there's probably a guy down lower that will prove to be one of the best picks on the board come January, but we don't know who that is. We have no idea. So I took Andrews though early. I don't know if you've been noticing this. For one, I will kind of admit I kind of forgot I had Trey McBride. I thought Andrews was my first tight end. I was pressed for time. I was texting someone while I was making that pick. But I will say tight ends are creeping back up. Maybe not in the sprint because the ADP hasn't caught up to it, but in most of your normal drafts like BBM, tight end is coming up pretty quick. We're losing a lot of the later guys to either whether it be injury or a new guy signing or something like that. We're kind of losing the quote unquote depth at tight end, I feel like.
I'm part of the problem. I'll take Mark Andrews before pick 100. I'll take Loveland or Warren or Njoku in the teens.
Yep. Also, when you're on the turn, you just got to reach a little bit. Like I'm going to take guys 15 spots ahead of ADP when I'm on the turn sometimes, because when I got to wait 22 picks, it's you can't count on them coming back.
Yeah, no doubt there. Man, how's your week been going? You've been having some nice streams.
It's been good, man. Yeah, the streaming has been really solid with having Liam on, and we had Karain on, and then we've had Nez on and stuff like that, and it's just been awesome, man. Like big year,
Incredible.
Yeah. it feels good. It feels good to have these names on that I basically, I don't want to say grew up watching, but you know what I mean? Like growing up in
You've
best
grown up in the
ball.
last 2 years. You've grown up quite a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly.
Oh,
So
damn. Tootin goes 142. Son of a
damn
man.
it.
That would have been sweet. Oh,
Yeah, I would have
okay.
liked that too.
Well,
Make your picks and then we'll chat here. Okay.
oh,
I will
damn. Ferguson went too. I was going to take Ferguson.
Well, I'm not taking a tight end. So if you want
Nah,
my
yeah.
recommendation,
Ferguson went
I would
141.
go Kincaid here. I feel like he's a smash as far as like a tier break, but
Yeah.
I'm going Benson. Dylan Sampson, how do you feel about the quote about him not liking getting hit?
I don't worry about small things like that so much. I think you just, I mean, the guy just played college football at a high
It's
level.
either
And
him or Jaden Blue. It's one of the two. They're both. I'm just gonna look for a correlation thing. Do I have Cleveland or I do have? I don't think I have either. So, I have Cleveland with James Cook week 16. So there we go. We'll take it. We'll take Sampson.
I think I'm just going to chill with Njoku for a bit. I actually love Jaden Blue. So
I
let
think
me
it's a good
go.
pick. Yeah.
I was thinking about Kincaid. I don't take a whole lot of them. And then the little like aggravated knee stuff, I think he's fine. He's probably like a decent pick. I just still don't really click him that often, but
Jaden.
oh no, sorry, Kincaid.
Oh.
No,
He
Jaden Blue.
he
I'm all
returned to
about Jaden
practice
Blue.
though, didn't he? Kincaid's back at
Return to
practice.
practice? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I just think it's a little underwhelming. I've kind of changed my tune on Khalil Shakir a little bit. I'm starting to think he might be like the best Bill pass catcher, and he's the most expensive one, but he could
He
take a
definitely
big step
has been.
forward too.
Yeah, he definitely has been the best. I don't really know what his like ceiling really could be, but you know, I'm into it. I do
I
think
think he's
Coleman is like the real big swing. He is.
yes,
I mean, he had 29 receptions, 556 yards. I mean, let's give the guy 45 receptions. Does that mean he has 900 yards and he's also a touchdown threat? Like that's pretty interesting profile. So
I've agreed with that, and I've been thinking that too. It's just the step from him going, and of course, you can always take a big step in year two, kind of thing. So bet on the year two upside, which is why I think he's still fairly priced. But the amount of production increase that Keon Coleman needs to have to go from what he did last year to like being actually good for fantasy is like doubling everything he did versus
yeah,
for Shakir, it's like a 20% increase, or like, and he's like way more valuable. And
right,
I think I was looking at some data last week. Like Shakir is a yak monster, so he's creating a lot of yards after like a past the air yards that he's getting. He's creating a lot of yards after he gets the ball, and I don't know. I think he's you know he's the price is so different though, right? With Shakir, you're paying up for it, and it's more of a can he continue to take small steps forward versus Keon can he take like one big leap, and then with Kincaid, it's like people are just kind of waiting on it.
Let me look at, you know what? I've never done a deep dive on Shakir. I've just taken everyone's word for it about the profile and everything. Let me actually do like a quick deep dive. Let's just get some actual numbers here.
He hasn't had a good amount of like spike weeks though. I think is what people knock him for.
That's okay, but like what's his yards per out run? Like what's his like explosive stuff? Let's see. He had 100 targets last year. Here's the general thing. 100 targets, 76 catches, 821 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's definitely live for more touchdowns. That is something that could easily go into the positive. He's only had 7 in his entire career through 3 years.
Right.
So, I love that. I do remember after year 2, one of the big stats with Shakir was that he had a 92% catch radius. Oh, I'm on it. Don't worry.
Okay.
we can do it all here. I can talk and vamp, and we're going Leggett. I am when I hit this range of players, I am taking the first round pick from last year. I'm just gonna kind of blindly close my eyes and do it. I don't really like Leggett, but it's a legit first round pick. And then I am gonna go Miles Sanders because when I miss out on Blue, I feel like I'm just gonna take the other side of the bet with Sanders. I leave every draft with a Dallas or a Jacksonville running back of some kind. So we'll go that route there.
Yeah, Dallas, Jacksonville,
Yeah,
Rams for me. Sometimes Browns.
sure. But at least the Rams, it's like Kyron. With Jacksonville, Dallas, it's all the starting running backs are past pick 100 basically.
Oh yeah.
But what is like but yeah, I just remember Khalil Shakir had the best catch percentage on catchable balls in the NFL after year 2. He didn't have a huge sample size, but he had like a 90 something percent, like 93%. He caught the ball when it was a catchable pass towards him. It was the best in the NFL. So he's really good. I know that much. Let's look at some stuff. Yards per route run. He had a 2.33 yards per route run. I feel like people do not talk about that with Khalil Shakir. 2.33 yards per route run is better than Devontae Adams. That is better than Jackson Smith and Jigba last year. That is better than a bunch of players that go in round 3, basically.
Yeah. I forget what I was seeing. I think it was one of the recent Leg Up articles that had, I forget which one it was, but like Shakir was featured in it, and there were some comparisons and some charts, and it might have been the first read, or it might have been just maybe it was his like yards per route run and like some kind of context. But then I was looking at the numbers. I off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly, but just if we keep talking about Shakir, I think the connection was like for him, if he had like a 15 or even like a 20% increase in like his production to where he's priced and like where he's going. I'm trying to find where he went in this one. I don't see him on the board. He went in this format. He goes 76 here. He's like putting out production at like the level of people we're taking in like the 4th, 5th kind of round. If he just does a little bit better.
Yeah, he's putting up the same yards per route run as a bunch of wide receivers that are going ahead of him, even ones that haven't been good for fantasy. He is going 20 spots behind Chris Olave, has a better yards per route run than Chris Olave over his career, and has Josh Allen as his quarterback. So that is a pretty interesting stat right there. I bet his yards per route run is probably better than Garrett Wilson too. So it's pretty interesting, honestly. I've never done a deep dive, and now that I have, I might be a Khalil Shakir bull because, we know that touchdowns are the least sticky thing year to year. So could be getting a major discount on the wide receiver one on the Bills.
I've been kind of coming around to the idea.
He gives me Richardson. You got to love it.
I think it's a great pick.
I think you have to take Richardson in just tournament contests. I mean, there's too much here to pass on, considering that he could be the starter. It's too much value. I have to go with it. And then I need running back, basically. We'll figure out wide receiver later. I don't know what to do here. I guess in the meantime, I'm grabbing a Woody Marks because he's like the only guy that's there. Mainly, I feel safe with. I do feel like Houston, if there's a real problem with Mixon, they will sign someone. But at least with Marks, they legit traded future picks to trade up and get him. That alone will get him not cut from the team, at least, like bare minimum. So
yeah, he's definitely going to be on the team. I'm not really sure what I think yet about Woody Marks. I guess it's just like, how good can the Texans offensive line be if it's not Joe Mixon? Can Marks actually like get it done? I don't know. I think in the round 17, totally fine pick.
I don't really know how explosive Woody Marks is. Let's look up his RAS real quick, because I would assume that he's going to catch a good amount of passes. Could he take one to the house is the real question. The RAS is saying no. We got a bunch of yellow and red. This guy's not very quick. Right? So
not very bursty.
That's not great. So if he does catch a pass, it's going to have to be ideally from like 15 yards out to where he can score from there or something. I don't know. Does not look like he's taking a 60-yarder to the house. But 17th round, it can't be the worst thing to just maybe add point. I'm kind of having anchor running back and then a bunch of flyers. So it's kind of what you have to do.
I've been talking up Anthony Richardson all night. Yesterday, I was talking him up. I'm trying to get him more. I mean, pick 192 here is incredible. And obviously the sprint ADP is a little bit different, but like in Best Ball Mania, I've been trying to get him in like the 170s. I think what it came down to tonight for this build is I wanted to. I'm a little bit behind at wide receiver, so I wanted to grab Keenan Allen, who I think is going to sign with the Chargers.
Yeah, and that's a great pick too, because it especially, I've been saying this the whole time. Didn't know if he was going to sign or not, but in Best Ball Mania, Eliminator, and Sprint, you're going to get closing line value, because if he does sign, these are the 3 contests that have been open since the beginning that will probably be open until football starts on September 4th. So you're going to get very good closing line value, I think, with the Keenan pick. So I think that's pretty sharp. And of course, the Chargers. That's a great spot if that comes to fruition. All right, I am about to be on the clock after you here. I have Cook, Spears, Benson. Man, I think I'm done at running back, but I don't know. I feel good about my receivers as well. Man, it's either running back or receiver. Let me just see who's best available. With Richardson, I think I'll just go AD Mitchell. They just seem to, the deep threat guys seem to just correlate. So let's do that. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. AD's been, I think he's still gotten like some good camp hype. He's definitely talented and fine 18th pick.
I don't know if he's gonna if he's gonna do anything, but I know when he was on the field last year, 30% target share on routes run last year. That's huge. He out target shared. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but had a higher target share than Downs, Pittman, any of the notable receivers when he was out on the field. Those guys were sitting at like a 25, 20%, while he was up above 30 on routes he ran last year. So that
makes
to me
sense.
is bullish. And
he's a big end zone threat and a big play type of guy. So like the most appealing part about him was when he played for Georgia the year before he went to Texas. He had a touchdown in every single college football playoff game that he was in. So I think it was 3 straight games for Georgia. And then he did it for 2 straight games for Texas. And then he famously in the semifinal, maybe it was 1 game for Texas, but in the semifinal, he against Washington. So Texas is playing Washington on New Year's Day in New Orleans. This is the game that Michael Penix Jr. wins with Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk and McMillions.
Yep.
And so it's a fourth quarter. It's 4th down. Quinn Ewers rolls out to the right. He extends the play. He throws a ball. It goes off of Adonai Mitchell's fingertips in the end zone. That would have like won the game or like, got them right there. Yeah. And so it was like a last second thing. So it was really close, but I'm pretty sure he did have a good amount of touchdowns too in his last year at Texas, but he did. Is like,
he did. He's interesting. He's like, I don't know, but Chris, you want to do something funny? So I'm going live at 10, which is we're 1 minute past. So, but I can do StreamYard 2 different places. Should I stay here and do my intro while I'm on stream with you and do it while I go live on my channel?
Yeah, do it.
I was going to invite, I don't know. You can keep streaming. Obviously, of course, I'm not going to stop you, but if you want to come on my channel, you can come on right now. I'm going to go live right now, but
yeah, I'm cool with that. I'll come on for a bit. I was gonna end it here, but I'm definitely down to come on for just a little bit.
I will stay on for the end of Chris's channel. I'm gonna hit my intro so you get to see it 2 different places at once right now. Okay, I'm going live in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hopefully this works. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Best Ball Guy YouTube channel. I'm Eric, aka the Best Ball Guy, and like I do every single day on this channel, I'm gonna be doing live best ball drafts. So if you're not subscribed, go down below, click subscribe, turn the bell on, get notified when I'm going to go live, and you can get in a draft with me. There's my Twitter at Best Ball Guy. Follow me there. You also get notified earlier in the day what time I'm going to go live. Sorry, it's a late night draft, but I hope you had a good Friday. Let's hit the intro, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Fire. Watching the intro right now. Anyways, I'll see you guys over there.
All right, let's go over there. All right, night, guys. See ya. We'll see you on the stream. Peace. Later.